Greetings and salutations and welcome to this particular YouTube video. And today we're going to be talking about the hit Netflix series and manga Komi-san Can't Communicate, as he probably judged by the title of this YouTube video. And before we get started talking about it in any sort of depth, for all those who habitually live under rocks and for some reason somehow don't know anything about the series but yet somehow found this video, I will now try to give my briefest and hopefully least painful synopsis I can give with my current power. Our story follows the completely average, completely ordinary, completely run under the mill, the legendary Tadano Hito. And he is recently a high school student. And on his way to class, he encounters the most beautiful girl he's probably ever seen. So beautiful, she looks straight out of a painting. And whenever he tries to introduce himself, she just kind of walks away without saying anything, which kind of leaves him the impression that he kind of upset her in some way. And after certain events unfold, which I'm skipping over for, purposes of briefness, he and her somehow end up in a one-on-one, and he realizes that she has a communication disorder. She can't talk properly without feeling like she's about to die, despite the fact that she wants to. In fact, she wants to have 100 friends. That's her goal. And our protagonist takes it unto himself to help her accomplish that goal. And his first, accomplishment in that in this journey is by becoming her first friend. And so he attempts to help her find the rest of the 99. And hopefully that didn't bore too many of you, and hopefully some of you stuck with me this long. Thank you very much for doing so. Anyways, I guess it's time to talk about the show now. So Netflix adapted this a little while ago, I think over a month ago. I don't know the specifics. I think we're on episode 5 as of the recording of this video. And when I heard about this, and I heard Netflix was adapting it, I wasn't too scared, because Netflix actually has a pretty good reputation when it comes to anime, at the very least. See what you want about some of the other adaptations they made. Animes are usually quite good, as long as they're animated. But when I first heard about the series, it was around 2019 or 2018, where it became suddenly the most popular manga on the face of the earth, and everyone was using it as a reaction image for every possible given statement that was made on the internet. And it's probably the biggest manga I've seen blow up, coming shy to Nagatoro-san. Or I don't know which one is actually more popular, because these were both insanely popular mangas. And I couldn't be happier, as you can tell from my deadpan voice, because romance animes are actually one of my favorite genre. And in recent years, it's becoming sort of a drought lately. Recently, the only thing we've been getting is kind of mediocre isekai power trips, where girls only act as an accessory that seems to come along at the flick of a protagonist's fingers. Seeing a romantic comedy like this, adapted as well as it is, we've been getting a lot of them recently with Nagatoro and all of them, but it really just brings a smile to my face, because romantic comedies like these are probably one of the reasons I got into anime in the first place. But going a little bit more in depth with the show, I talked about, I think I mentioned earlier in the video, I can't remember exactly, about Tadano Hito's name, because the entirety of the series is all the characters have a gimmick with their name. Like Tadano Hito, it means just some guy in Japanese, which I think is fucking fantastic. I think I read another manga that did something similar to this, but just the protagonist's name. But I can't remember for sure. Actually, I do remember exactly what series that is, and I might do a video on it in a later date. I probably will. But the series itself is fantastic. It's funny, it's slapstick in a really nice way. I mean, it's not going to be your thing if you don't like romantic comedies or romance. If you don't like any of those three things, you're not going to like the series. Or if you don't like school life, or if you are kind of sick of cliches, because this entire series is kind of a parody on cliches in anime. So if you're kind of sick of that kind of thing, you're going to hate the series, and I guess that's fine, but I personally adore this stuff. I eat it up like some sort of starved animal in the wild. And even the main love interest herself, Komi, she's adorable in every shape and manner. She's beautiful in some scenes, she's adorable and next scenes. And hey, who doesn't love a girl that you can relate to on an emotional level? I bet you as well, since you watch anime, you probably can't talk to anyone at all, especially with the opposite sex. So this series is right up your alley if you're in that kind of way. But everything's. I really have no complaints about the series because the series is kind of hard to complain about. What you see is what you get. You get your cute scenes, you got your funny scenes, you got your scenes. The only complaint I can really have is because the series kind of suffers from every other romantic comedy suffers from, and that's the fact that romantic progression is kind of a myth. It says it like in the tags, and everything is built around it, kind of. But it's more of like a fanfic that you have to create in your mind because the author sure as hell isn't going to do it until the final chapter. So if you're expecting like fast romantic progression with like the relationship with a couple even holding hands eventually in the series, you're barking up the wrong tree. Try to find like an Adosian or something, because that sure as hell isn't going to happen here. But hey, you kind of gotta have to get used to it at this point, right? But that's really the only complaint you can have, and that's the only that's a common complaint you'll have in the romantic genre series in anime. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the series as of this moment. Uh, I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't want to talk about any of the future characters, because part of the fun of the show is seeing what character comes up next. But yeah, you probably already know a couple of them because there's one character that is introduced in like episode 2 that is just as popular as Komi-san, honestly. But yeah, and other things that are completely unrelated to the main topic of this video. I'm really sorry about uploading so late. I know I'm supposed to say at the beginning of the video, but I'm saying at the end because why the hell not? Yeah, I'm really sorry. This is probably the latest I've ever made a video, and I was trying to get back into making them, fairly regularly, but I kind of suck at life. So you're gonna have to forgive me on that one. Yeah. My bad. I'm desperately trying to do better. Trust me. Believe me. Scouts honor, and I was in Boy Scouts. If you even know what that means. But yeah. I think that's going to do it for today's video. If you have anything to comment on, whether it be about the series, another series, make a recommendation about a series for me to make a video on, I may or may not do it. Given my previous track record, probably not, but hey, I can always give it a shot, and it's worth a thought, If you like the video, consider leaving a like. It would help me out motivationally and emotionally speaking for my own self-validation in this world. And if you really want to, put a smile on my face, perhaps even consider subscribing, Couldn't hurt. But yeah, without further ado, I think I'm going to bid you farewell. For now, at least. Hopefully.